Welcome to Sarah Mythology, where the world's greatest myths, forgotten legends, and ancient civilizations come alive through powerful storytelling. From Greek gods and Indian epics to mysterious African spirits and Japanese legends, every story reveals the beliefs that shaped entire civilizations. Long before Japan became the land of samurai and cherry blossoms, ancient legends spoke of gods who created the islands themselves, divine battles that shaped heaven and earth, and terrifying spirits that still haunt folklore today. This is the complete story of Japanese mythology. In the beginning, there was only endless chaos. Heaven and earth had not yet separated. Slowly, the universe formed into different layers, and from the highest heavens appeared the first divine beings, known as the Koto Amatsukami. These mysterious gods remained unseen, allowing younger gods to continue the work of creation. Among them were the divine brother and sister, Izanagi and Izanami. Standing upon the floating bridge of heaven, they stirred the endless ocean below with a jeweled spear. As the spear rose from the waters, drops fell from its tip and hardened into the very first island of Japan. The two gods descended to this island and built a heavenly pillar. Walking around it from opposite directions, they met and became husband and wife. Together they created more islands, giving birth to the Japanese archipelago itself. Mountains, rivers, forests, winds, and countless natural forces followed as new gods were born. But tragedy soon struck. While giving birth to Kagutsuchi, the god of fire, Izanami suffered fatal burns and died. Heartbroken, Izanagi slew the fire god in anger. From Kagutsuchi's blood and body emerged even more powerful deities, including gods of volcanoes, swords, and thunder. Unable to accept his loss, Izanagi journeyed into Yomi, the dark land of the dead, hoping to bring Izanami back. At first, her voice echoed through the darkness, warning that she had already eaten the food of the underworld. She begged him not to look upon her until permission was granted. Impatient, Izanagi lit a torch. Before him stood not the beautiful goddess he remembered, but a decaying corpse surrounded by terrifying demons. Horrified, he fled through the darkness, while Izanami pursued him with armies of spirits. Escaping the underworld, Izanagi sealed its entrance forever with a gigantic boulder, separating the worlds of the living and the dead. After cleansing himself from the corruption of Yomi, something extraordinary happened. As Izanagi washed his body, new gods emerged. From his left, came Amaterasu, the radiant goddess of the sun. From his right, came Tsukuyomi, the calm god of the moon. From his nose came Susanoo, the wild and unpredictable god of storms and the sea. Amaterasu became ruler of the heavenly realm. Her light brought order to the universe. But Susanoo's violent temper caused endless destruction. He devastated fields, frightened divine beings, and finally threw a skinned heavenly horse into Amaterasu's sacred weaving hall. Shocked and grieving, Amaterasu hid inside a heavenly cave, plunging the entire world into darkness. Without sunlight, crops failed, evil spirits spread across the land, and chaos consumed heaven and earth. The gods gathered desperately to restore the light. They placed a brilliant mirror before the cave and held an enormous celebration. The goddess Izanami danced so joyfully that the gods burst into laughter. Curious about the celebration outside, Amaterasu slowly opened the cave entrance. She saw her own dazzling reflection in the mirror, believing another radiant deity stood before her. At that moment, the strongest god pulled her from the cave, and sunlight returned to the world once again. Meanwhile, Susanoo was banished from heaven. Wandering the earth, he encountered an elderly couple mourning their daughters. Every year, the monstrous eight-headed serpent Yamata no Orochi devoured one of their children. Only one daughter remained. Susanoo devised a clever plan. 8 barrels of powerful sake were placed around the village. The giant serpent drank deeply from each barrel until all 8 heads became intoxicated. While the monster slept, Susanoo struck with his mighty sword, defeating the beast. Inside one of Orochi's tails lay an extraordinary weapon, the legendary Kusanagi sword, one of Japan's most sacred treasures. Generations later, Amaterasu sent her grandson Ninigi to rule the earth. Carrying the sacred mirror jewel and Kusanagi sword, he descended from heaven. His descendants eventually became the first emperors of Japan, linking the imperial family directly to the gods themselves. Yet, the divine world was only one part of Japanese mythology. Countless spirits called kami lived within waterfalls, ancient trees, mountains, rivers, and even unusual rocks. Nature itself was considered sacred, filled with invisible divine presence. Alongside the kami existed mysterious creatures known as yokai. Some were playful, while others inspired fear. Kitsune, the magical fox spirits, possessed intelligence beyond humans and could transform into beautiful people. Tengu, powerful bird-like warriors, guarded remote mountains and challenged arrogant travelers. Kappa lived within rivers, dragging careless victims beneath the water, but rewarding those who treated them respectfully. Oni, enormous horned demons armed with iron clubs, represented greed, cruelty, and chaos. Even dragons held an important place in Japanese mythology. Unlike many Western dragons, they were often wise water guardians, controlling rain, rivers, and oceans. Among them stood Ryujin, the mighty dragon king of the sea, whose underwater palace contained magical jewels capable of controlling the tides themselves. Heroes also filled these legends. Yamato Takeru became one of Japan's greatest warriors, defeating enemies with courage and the sacred Kusanagi sword. Clever monks, fearless samurai, wandering spirits, and ancient guardians all became part of Japan's rich mythological tradition, blending history with legend over thousands of years. Unlike many mythologies that faded with time, Japanese mythology remains deeply connected to everyday life. Shrines dedicated to ancient kami stand across the country. Seasonal festivals honor the gods, and stories of yokai, dragons, fox spirits, and legendary heroes continue to inspire books, films, anime, games, and traditions across the world. These ancient tales reveal a universe where every mountain has a spirit, every river carries divine power, and every shadow may hide a forgotten legend. From the creation of the islands to battles between gods and monsters, Japanese mythology remains one of humanity's richest and most fascinating collections of sacred stories. If these legendary tales sparked curiosity, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Sarah Mythology, and share in the comments which mythology should be explored next. More epic myths, forgotten civilizations, and legendary stories from around the world await in the next journey.